Well, awesome. We'll get things started. Welcome everybody to the first Impact Hour. We were doing this on much smaller scale, and hopefully we're going to grow this into something really, really big. And we've got great guests that come in every week and talk about different topics, and we've got a great one this week. We've got Nick Krem. And a little bit about Nick Krem. Nick Krem, CEO of Krem Institute of Artificial Intelligence and the #1 leader of the AI real estate revolution. Nick went from grinding 15-hour days, setting listing appointments, to building one of the most recognized AI brands in the industry. Today, he leads an international network of over 1,100 agents across 48 states and 9 countries, equipping them with cutting-edge AI tools and strategies to dominate their markets. Nick is going to show us exactly how top agents are leveraging AI to save time, win more clients, and unlock results they never thought possible. Let's welcome Nick Krem.
All right, Craig, man, I like it. All right, family, let's go ahead. Let's get started, guys. And I feel like the topic of AI, I don't know about you guys, but it's so vast, right? Like there are so many different directions that we can go in when we're talking about AI. Especially and then there's like different levels that we get into too, right? I know I talked to some people who are just getting started with Chat GPT, and then some people are using Perplexity, OpenClaw, and then like everything in between there. So I'm just curious on this call. Let's see, how many people use Chat GPT every single day? Chat GPT or Claude? Just put yes in the chat. Can you put yes in the chat so I can kind of see where we are at? So you guys use one of those tools. All right. All right. And then how many people on here use Claude Code, Perplexity Computer, or OpenClaw? Put 1 in the chat so I can see the difference. All right. Oh, we got a couple people. Claude. Yep. All right. So, and even on saying that, some people here are probably already taking notes. Like, all right, what is that one? I need to go and use this one, right? And then you start kind of getting into like all the different ways that we can utilize this technology and all the facets that we can get into with it. And, it's one of those, like, we have to understand that this technology is unlike anything else that we've ever dealt with before, right? Everything up until this point has been linear. It's been one step at a time. This is exponential technology. What does that mean? Well, it's essentially exponential. If it took 1 year to create an update with AI, the next time it updates, it's going to take 6 months. The next time it updates, it's going to take 3 months, and then a month and a half, and then a couple weeks. And now we're starting to see there have been 15 major model updates in the last 8 weeks. And now, I don't know if you guys saw this, just last week, Claude has put out a worldwide notice that they believe that they should start pausing the advancement of AI. Has anybody seen that? Anthropic put out a notice and like, hey, we think we might be able to pause this because it's moving too quickly. Now, I am calling Anthropic's kind of the Kanye West of the AI world. What do I mean by that? You know how Kanye kind of goes crazy before he launches something and markets it and it creates good marketing? Anthropic kind of does the same thing where they're like, oh, this model's too powerful, we're not going to release it. And then they release it. So whether that's an actual stock aspect in collecting money or if it's actually true, only time will tell. But there is a truth behind it, because at this moment, 80% of the model updates coding is written by AI. Well, it's kind of scary and freaky, right? 80% of the new model's coding is written by AI. And they're like, we can't keep up with this because we're trying to go faster and faster. And all of a sudden, we don't even know what it's coding itself to do because it's just pumping it out over and over again. So with this exponential technology, I'm just curious, how many people here see more AI tools than they care for? Just put me in the chat if that's you. Like every single day you log in, there's another tool, there's another tool, there's another tool. And it just seems like it keeps going and going and going. Well, look, family, that's not going to slow down. It is only going to speed up, right? So I think part of this too is kind of taking a step back. It's what I want to look at with you guys here today and kind of take a look at what is some of the consumer behavior that has changed. And I think we all have to prep for. I know I don't want to get into too many different tools here today, but before I even get into what I'm going to cover here, there is one tool that I use every single day that I think is an absolute game changer. It's called WhisperFlow. Does anybody here use WhisperFlow or heard of WhisperFlow? WhisperFlow is an absolute game changer for me. I put the link here in the chat. It's WISPRFLOW.ai. WhisperFlow is talk to text on steroids. So like, yeah, you might say, well, I already got talk to text. Well, what this does is if I'm like, here, wait, I can show you guys an example actually, now that I'm talking about it. Number one, for your prompting, it is an absolute game changer. Why? Because it uses your natural language. And anywhere that you are typing on your computer, and it also works on your phone, it's just the FN key, your function key. So I just hit the button, be like, all right, here's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the top 3 things to do. No, wait. I want to talk about the top 5 things to do inside of your real estate business. So you'll see in the text, it takes away the top 3 things. No, wait. I want to talk about this. And it might seem small, but like as you are talking, it's basically AI voice to text. And I can just come on my computer and yap, right? Like your prompting will get so much better because now even with talk to text, you have to think about it to make sure it's said right. You have to go in there and edit it. This, you literally just hit a button and you can talk. It conceptualizes it. I think it says I talk 177 words a minute and I type about 46. So with this, before I jump into anything else, I feel like that's just, to me, such a no-brainer that saves me a bunch of time. And when you go to prompt and actually talk to your computer, it's your natural language will always be better than you thinking and typing. It's not, I don't believe it's an extension, it's an app. So if you go to Whisperflow, you just download the app and then it goes into a shortcut on your computer as well as your phone. So that's my training for you guys today. No, I'm just kidding. No. But Whisperflow, I am telling you, like, for talk to text on steroids using AI, it is an absolute game changer. You'll probably see me use that today, so I wanted to share that with you. But now we are getting into, we've been inside of generative AI. So essentially, generative AI was ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all these platforms. And what it was you talk to the AI, it gives you an answer. You talk to the AI, it gives you an answer. Essentially, we are the generators, right? Because the moment I stop talking to it, it stops working. We are now starting to get into the era of agentic AI. Essentially, think of agentic as digital employees that live within your computer that can work while you're not there. You can task it to do things, and it continues to work for you. So I'm going to give you guys an example of what this looks like. And I want to get into the one area that I believe that is changing in front of our eyes that a lot of people aren't paying enough attention to. A lot of people aren't paying attention to this because we always hear like we got to insert it in our business. We got to work on the back end. We got to save hours. Consumer behavior is changing in front of our eyes. How people get information, how we navigate the internet, how we get the information is changing right in front of our eyes. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of go into some of the things I want to cover here today. The AI search shift. So there's a huge shift that is happening, right? So some quick stats for you. And I thought some of these were pretty alarming. 37% of consumers now start a search with an AI tool, not a search bar. 37% of consumers now start their search inside of an AI tool. Do you guys think that number is going to go up this year or going to go down? It's probably going to go up. 60% of people say AI gives clearer answer than search engines. So not only are they using it, they're like, hey, this is even better than search engines. And here's the big one. And this, wow, I haven't had a voice crack in like 20 years. This stat should alarm you. 82% of Americans used AI for housing information in 2025. That comes straight from Realtor.com and a study they did. 82% of Americans use AI for housing information. That stat should alarm you. More and more people every single day are going to AI to ask questions about the market, to ask questions about community, to ask questions about the neighbor, to ask questions about crime, to ask all these different questions. And then they will simply ask what agent to work with. On top of that, too, Google's AI mode just passed 1 billion monthly users. And it's growing faster each quarter. But Google had a forum recently, and I think this is where it's really starting to get interesting. So I know some people, and this is where I try not to listen to some of the hype artists out there who will tell you, Google is dead. You got to go to ChatGPT and get found there. Google is far from dead. You should never count Google out of it, right? They have all the money and they have all the data. Data is the absolute gold mine. Where do you think a lot of these models get their information from, right? But Google announced something here in their last 2 weeks that they are rolling out, and it's their Google agent. So it's not just links. The Google's AI agent will literally go out there and do research for you based on what you like. And they're also going to add the shopping agent. So Google is going to take all the data, all the information, all the links you clicked, everything that you've always bought. And now there's going to be an AI agent that will go out there and do shopping for you, fill up your carts. And all you do is a click of a button will go out there and buy it for you. It sees everything. It remembers the chat. It's like your personal shopping agent for everything on the internet, predicting what you would like to buy before you even do it. Why is this important? Well, if 37% of people are now starting with AI search even before going to a search engine. Now, an AI will literally tell you what you're going to like to buy and what you won't like to buy. Like people won't even be browsing the internet. It's just going to log in and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. What else happened? Well, Google attached to YouTube. YouTube's doing the same thing. They're starting Ask YouTube, which is like an AI search for videos. Why is all of this important? Because if we really take a step back and just see how consumer behavior is changing inside of this model, AI is going to give you all of your information, right? I'm curious, how many people here know somebody who believes everything they read on Facebook? Just put me in the chat. If you know someone who believes everything they read on Facebook, right? People don't like cross-reference information. They will literally watch a video or read a story that is world-changing and altering and not even research it, right? They'll read stories about a war that's happening and not even look up, like, is that true? They'll just believe it and their entire reality changes. Why is this important? Well, because now Google's AI agent, they're going to shop for you. They're basically just going to tell you what you like. YouTube is going to tell you what you like to watch. AI is just going to give them an answer. How many people are going to cross-reference it? This is the modern day referral. So, and we're talking about the big shift in AI. The biggest shift that we are going to see is in physical AI. AI being built into devices that does the work for people, gives them the information, tells them what they like, tells them what they like to shop. That is the biggest shift that we are preparing for. If you are not found and recommended by these tools, I believe it's going to be a hard time inside of this new world. This is the modern day referral. Because if you think about it, if they are going to AI, look, people, I mean, I'm curious, how many people here use AI for like personal information? Like you're asking about workout routines. You're asking about different things going on. You're asking about best places to eat. You're asking about all this information. The entire world is going to be using this technology to get their information, and they're going to take it to the bank. Like, oh yeah, well, AI told me this. I think it was Ryan Serhant said like a $20 million deal almost fell apart because the buyer's agent's son went to chat and said, oh, should this home sell for less? And what do you think ChatGPT said? Well, of course it should sell for less. And then the seller went to it and said, should it sell for more? What do you think ChatGPT said? Of course it should sell for more. Look, family, your biggest competitor is going to be AI. It won't be an agent that's using AI. Of course, we're all going to have to use AI in our business. But when people go and ask you questions about the neighbor, when people go and ask you questions about who to work with, is your name going to show up? This is the modern day referral. They're going to trust it with their shopping, with what they've watched, with all the housing information. And then they are simply going to ask it, who should I work with? And here's the thing. AI doesn't give 15 different answers. It gives 1 to 3. That is what you are fighting over. I like to call it inside of my school and things that we do. You're either a creator or a watcher, right? You are either creating the content that AI will consume and recommend, or you will simply sit back and watch other people get recommended. And those are the two differences. So inside of this world, I have, let's see, we're going to have some fun here. Let me see, do I have another slide? Yeah, there's another slide, but I feel like I covered this topic. Whoops, no, not my Slack channel. Stop recording. No, I'm just kidding. That was my Slack channel, not what I wanted to share. All right, searchable is not enough. Now you have to become recommendable, right? So I put together a tool for you guys, and this is a great place to start. It's free to use. I don't even ask for any of your information, but I put the tool in the chat. So this is an AEO site checker, right? So AEO is answer engine optimization. So essentially, here's what it does. You can take one of your sites. All you have to do is copy and paste your site into this, and it will run an audit. It takes about like 5 to 15 seconds, but it runs an audit on your site. Why is this important? Here is the big one right here. Where is it? Right here. Robots.txt. I will tell you, a majority of people that I talk to, this has a red X next to it. This has a red X next to it. What does that red X next to robots.txt mean? That means that AI cannot find your website even if it wanted to. It means it is actually blocking AI from ever being able to find you. So then it also goes through it, and then it goes through like reachable without bot blocking. It goes through the tags. But it's a great way to see, is your site, is your information in a way where AI can actually read it, can actually find it, and to get information from you. So I'm curious, if you guys want to go ahead and put that in the chat, I'm curious, what are some of your scores? If anybody feels brave, putting their website into there and then sharing their score. See, other people are just have their notebooks out. They're like, no, we're ready for the next step, Nick. Yeah, we might go there. But I put that link in the chat. It's free. You guys can run your audits. But going through that, I will say a majority of the websites that are given to you by brokerages at a high level, they all block it, right? Something very important that you should be taking a look at. Is your site actually findable through this technology? Is your information actually findable through this technology? It's very important. So we start there. I'll say there's about like three of the biggest places. If you want to be found through this technology, there are three things that you have to do. The first is your Google business profile. Your Google business profile and your reviews. Why is that important? Well, let's just see. If AI needs to find somebody to recommend, it doesn't say, man, I really like Jeff Robinson. You know, I feel like he's a good guy. I'm just going to recommend him because of that. Now, Jeff might be a great guy, but AI doesn't know that. It has no feelings, right? So it's going to say, well, who has a lot of 5-star reviews and has their profile optimized? It's like, well, Jeff has 5-star reviews every single week. So boom, he's automatically an authority. Where can it go to next when we're talking about answering questions? Your blogging. Blogging is getting really important. Blogging, Reddit, and things along those lines. Answering questions that people are actively asking through AI. It's really quite simple when you think about it, right? People are asking questions about the neighborhood, about the community, about the housing information, about the rates, about inventory. Where do you think AI gets the answers from? It doesn't just make it up out of nowhere. It has to pull it from somewhere. So then it gets into, are you writing a blog in a way that AI makes it easy to find? And essentially what you do is you can even ask AI, like, what are the top 10 most frequently asked questions in this neighborhood? It will tell you the exact question, have the exact question in the blog, and then give the answer in the first 50 to 200 characters. The third part of all this is your YouTube videos. Why? Because of the transcripts. YouTube is connected to Google. They get all the data and information. Those are the three steps. If you really want to be found through this, your Google business profile, blogging about the information, and then having videos that back it up. It's really your digital footprint. All right. And then I also said, I believe on this call, I shared that we're going to be covering like some of the different ways that we're using agentic AI and some of the solutions that we have here too. So I'm going to show you guys something that most of the world. So what I did is we decided to partner with, it's a team of former Microsoft AI engineers. So what I'm showing you right now is the complete back end of this. Most people won't even see this. But what is this? So right now, what we have done here is this is the back end of it. If you guys see, there's multiple different agents. Think of these like digital employees that are pre-built into this, right? So we have our main agent, which is the one that I actually communicate with. Then we get into the agent architect. What is that? Well, think of it like the HR of your AI employees. If I go to my main agent and I say like, hey, I want to build someone who's like a lead capture specialist, the main agent will go to the agent architect and then go out and then build me a new employee. And then we have our website developer, app developer, listing video production, AEO, GEO specialists. So this is the back end of the engine. What else is built within here is there is Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude Code. And there's about 70 different large language models that are built within here. The cool part about this is, for those of you guys, like, I'm going to give you guys a way that you guys can get access to this at the end. But you won't have to see this back end, nor will you have to build it. So the team goes in here, and every time there's a model update, they update the back end. So you don't have to keep bouncing around to different tools. So what we decided to do is we identified as the one big problem that we are looking to solve is most agents don't have a site that is compatible with AI search, nor do they have the capacity to write a blog 3 times a week answering the most frequently asked questions. So here's what we did. We took it a step further. So we have the agent orchestration on the back end. And then we have this dashboard here. So I just showed you guys a little bit of the back end, right? All the 30 agents that are working with this. Then it takes it to this step. And you guys can come in here. It's a dashboard. You can see you can communicate with it on the side. So essentially, I have about 30 digital employees that are built behind this. A website developer, an app developer, an AEO specialist, GEO specialist, copywriter, blog designer, video editor, all built into this. And then it comes into this form. So the next part is, I'm talking to the development team, and there's one thing that kept coming up. And it's, I don't know about you guys, how many people here are tired of having another login and another dashboard? Right? It's like you have CRMs, you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, you have HeyGen, then you have Canva, then you have CapCuts, then you go here, then you go there. And it's just like, it's too much. And you guys don't need another login. So what we decided to do is, and this is where I believe where the future of all of this is going, because it's funny, I actually saw an ad, Alex Hormozy started running this ad, where it's clicking is dead. Agents are your new software. So he's saying clicking is dead. Agents is your new software. And you'll see UX disappears in 24 months. Agents replace every click. So what does that mean? I'm like, oh man, he has really set me up with this one. Because here's what's happening, family. This is the back-end agents. You will never even have to see this. The login is here. You probably don't even have to log in and get all of this done. Everything that is managed through these sites and through this information is done. And I'm going to show you guys. Gotta share my whole screen. It's always dangerous when you share the whole screen, right? Like what else you got up here? But is managed through texting. So if you can manage, you got 30 digital employees, and then you have this dashboard. But I can text my employee, and my employee goes into the dashboard and manages my entire system, right? So like this is my site. If I'm like, oh, I want a new picture on the background here, I can go to one of my photo shoots. Let's see. I'll tell you, this is the picture I want on my background now. So I'll download this image. And then I will just drag it over here. And I'll text my digital employee. Hey, can you make this the background on my main site and add a dark gradient so the text pops? So now we just set it up in a way where it's like, hey, anytime you want an update, you just go into here and say, hey, can you make this my main background? Add a dark gradient so the text pops. And Halo, it's kind of funny. Sometimes that like ha-has my messages. Like we're working on like making it very interactive. But I text Halo. And Halo, kicking it off now. New background with the dark gradients on its way. Great. So now continue to work and it can go to different places. Inside of here too, I also built different resources. So like, I don't know about you guys, like when I need a new landing page, it's like, all right, I need to go to the landing page. I need to make sure that I have the right information. I just texted, I'm like, hey, I have this guide that I want to give out. Can you create me a new landing page that has a lead capture form and also the guide built into the back end? So I just asked it to do these things. And I could say, Nick at nickkrem.com. And then it sends it to the Google Doc that I have inside of here. So just think about this as it's your fully, like you have a website developer, app developer, and then it scores really high on the AEO to be able to be found through this. And then on top of that too, it will also blog for me 3 times a week. Oh, I added a video here in another training. So, but then what it does is it goes out there and it researches Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity. So there's a research employee built into this. And it will identify what is the most frequently asked question inside of my niche. And then what it will do is it will take that question and it will write a blog about it to help me get found through AI search. So now that when people are asking these questions, I have a blog on a website that is readable and foundable through AI, and it writes about it for me. And it does it 3 times a week without me even lifting a finger. So then it does that. I think, cool. It says, it looks like you got a new lead. So as it's updating that, that's one piece of this. And then we can go into some of our agents here. Let me see what some of the other people have built. I think Cole's is really cool. Look up Cole really quick. So like get an example of like what this can look like. So this was an agent who built this out in family. They built all this out through texting, right? They literally just texted it its information, their brand. They added a video here on the background. They added their chatbot over here on the side. And if you want to add that chatbot widget on the side, guess all he had to do? He just texted it like, hey, can you add a chatbot widget on the side that can book a consultation? Goes into here. It has all of his neighborhood research. Why do you want the neighborhood research? Because when people are asking about Raymond Hills and want more information, and if you have a site that is findable through AI and it answers the exact question that people are searching for, you're more likely going to be the person that is recommended. By the way, let's see my new background here. Oh, got my new background. That was all just done through texting. So then Cole here was able to do this. But then he was like, you know what? I wanted to do, let me see where this is at. Local spotlight. So then he's spotlighting different areas. He has some more videos. I want to find, all right. So what he wanted to do was he's like, I want to blog about my son who just got into West Point. So, because like inside of his community, it's like very veteran optimized. So what he did is he sent in a picture of his son and then he just talked about what his son was, like who his son was, his story. And I went into and it actually wrote an entire blog for him about his son getting into West Point. So all these are very customizable. And then you can get even more specific on them. So this individual is like, man, people love dogs inside of my area and there's not enough content and information about this. So this is where you can get very specific in your niches. And we've heard this a bunch. The riches are in the niches. So this person built out, it's fascinating to see what people build out, but this person built out an entire site that is constantly blogging and talking about all the things that dog lovers can do in Greater Victoria. And they went ham. They had over 2,100 text messages back and forth to get this built out. But the cool part about this is in the first 2 weeks, they had 2 people reach out to him from ChatGPT because they're like, oh yeah, we are looking for somewhere that we can take our dog and to work with our dog inside of a community. Your name popped up and they're already working with 2 different people. Why? Because they have every single neighborhood inside of their area talking about a specific topic. So this is like an example of like what it looks like to have AI agents who are specifically trained to do a specific task and then to manage all of this simply through texting. But we didn't stop there too. So there was something else that we did with this as well, because we know with listings, right? What if you can just text it your Zillow link and just say, hey, just got a new listing, and you text it your Zillow link, and it builds you out a whole single property website for your link, for your listing, all by just texting it your Zillow link. So it puts all of this together. It will blog about the neighborhood and surrounding areas. So when people are asking about, is there a home for sale inside of this area that has these amenities, it will write about your home. But then we took it another step further. So inside of here, there is VO3. There are video generations. So just by texting it your Zillow link, it takes your listing pictures and turns them into a listing video. And it's pretty complicated to go into like the details of this, but there is one agent whose only job is to identify where is the front of the home, where is the side of the home, where is the first part of the home. So let me make sure my sound is shared on this. Let's check this out. So family, all this agent did was texted a Zillow link and said I had a new listing. And then it went into here, built out the single property website, blogged about the neighborhood, put all the pictures on here. And then these are just pictures that it turned into a video. That's one example. And then this other agent here, they built theirs. So she built her actual website with this, but then she added her property listings to it too. Just like another example that you guys can see of it taking the pictures, turning it into a video. I believe this one was actually staged, but then it took the staging and then added all the edit things to it. We don't do anything to the bathroom. But family, all of that was done was literally just texting it a Zillow link, and it puts all of that together for you. And then we also have, I'm going to show you guys this. I took a screenshot of this. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's on my back screen. Didn't have everything ready, I guess. Minimize a lot of tabs. Got a lot of tabs open, which is always fun. All right. So this is a screenshot of what else is being built into this, the other employees that are being built into. Just think about this as your chief marketing officer. So by texting it your Zillow link, you also get reels, stories, and carousel posts built in your brand and your style. Facebook content, posts, ads, and marketplace, LinkedIn, and TikTok. It will also be able to do a CMA report for you on the neighborhood, a neighborhood report, likely buyer research, marketing plan, listing description, an agent resume. Literally just by texting it your Zillow link. Put together your single property website, your just listed, just sold, your open house. Put together your pictures and turn them into a video, and get all that information done for you. And I think this is an example of a much larger picture. I believe dashboards and interfaces are about to be pretty dead in the next 24 months, where it will be an agentic overlay over your CRMs, over any of these tools that you use, and you just communicate with it in natural language, and your AI employees are trained to go do these things for you. So with that being said too, is it important to learn AI? Absolutely. Is it important to integrate it? Yes. But then this is where I believe a lot of people are looking at this wrong. It's like focusing on the areas that AI can never replace, because that is what you will be paid for. Because the moment something becomes so easy that anyone can do it, it's no longer a valuable skill. How valuable of a skill is it to know how to turn listing pictures into listing videos now, when you can just text a link, when you can create your website, when you can create your listing materials, your just listed, just sold, your carousel posts, your marketing, you can blog about it. And you can do all of that literally just by texting a link. If you can do it, you can dang near know that Zillow and other people are not too far away from offering that to clients too. They've been trying to get rid of agents for years. So understand that. Is it important to learn and utilize this? Yes. But it's also, I believe AI is here to spend less time behind a computer and more time talking to people, because that is the part of the job that AI cannot replace. Your negotiation skills, your emotional intelligence. When the buyer says, well, I talked to ChatGPT and I said I can get this home for less. Will you be able to have the negotiation skills and emotional intelligence to be able to guide that person the right way? With that being said, to get access to this, so we do have an option for you guys here too. Not on that. Stop sharing that. So this tool is called Halo. We launched it 2 weeks ago, and we do have a founder's offer for you guys. So going through this, so like what it is, you guys get the 30 AI agents here on the back end. So it's over 30 different ones like Site Builder, AEO, SEO Orchestrator. You get one authority site. So this will be the site that is built just for you. That'll talk about your community and talk about your different areas. You get your listing CMO that will be able to create your single property websites and turn your listing photos into listing videos. And we have a bonus here that it's good till Thursday, which is the last day of the founders offer, which will blog about your community, create a single site that is specific about your community, about whatever niche that you have. And you get all of that for just $99 a month and then $99 per listing. So you get two websites that blog for you 24/7 that run through texting, and then you get $99 per listing, and it's for the lifetime of the listing. So if you have a pricing update, you just text it, pricing update here, and it goes and updates all of your materials for you. All you guys got to do is scan that QR code and it'll pop up Krem. Scan that QR code, pop up Krem. You guys can start getting access to, like I said, over 30 digital employees. We update the employees automatically. So when AI search changes, they just get smarter. When there's model updates, all the models on the back end update for you. And we make it all literally just a text away. So this is your AI chief of marketing, all run for you guys just a text away. So family, here's what I want to do. I did want to open it up to some questions. I left some time here at the end, like we were talking about, to open it up to you guys. There's questions that you guys have. I'll put a link here in the chat for you guys too. But I want to open up to questions for you guys now.
So I'll start, Nick. First of all, that was awesome. We really appreciate you coming on and doing this. That looks amazing. I know a lot of people on this call are probably pretty excited about that technology and what's coming. Talk a little bit about, so you had the aeositechecker.com/audit, and then you can pull up your site. It basically audits it. So it looks as if the Halo program allows you to kind of start and build from scratch and then have it work for you through text and through the agents.
Yeah.
The agents are operating through that Whoozy.ai, which is the back end, which we don't really necessarily need to even see. It's
right.
It's where we communicate, it sounds like. Talk to me a little bit about the website part of it. Like once you build out the website, could it be used for teams? Like having multiple agents, obviously, with subdomains and things like that. What about an IDX as well? So the actual property searches that, those sites are using, and how does that go into a CRM? Can you use a CRM that you already have, like Bold Trail or something?
Yeah, great question. So when it comes to, you pretty much nailed it. Like the back end agents, they're all working for you. Then you get the site that's built out, and you can have inside, when you fill out what you need, it will be make my site look like this. And you can have your past website in there, so it kind of looks and feels the same way. But what some people did for their IDX was they kept their IDX and they just set up save searches within their IDX, and they connected it to their Halo site. So this is like a save search for inside of this area that they just connected, and they just texted the link hey, add my search portal here. And they texted the link that takes them over to it. So it's not a native IDX feed unless different MLSs are different as far as connectivity to other websites. But what they did is they just set up save searchers within it that they click on, and it goes to wherever it's set up here.
So say we had, Bold Trail or whatever, and we had a client that was already on there, a lead, they were actively searching, and we built out this site, and you wanted to, would it be possible to have kind of a seamless switch from?
Great question. I do not believe this overtakes your IDX site. For the people who are actively doing searching, the IDX feed, I could tell you right now, there's a 99% chance your Bold Trail is not going to score too high on there. A lot of it was not built for the AI search part. So having that for your clients to actually search and utilize it is good. But unless you drive traffic there, I'm going to take a wild guess and say people don't natively find it. Right? It's driving traffic there, and then you get them set up on a save search. That doesn't disappear, right? So this is for when people are searching on AI, are you findable, right? When people are asking these questions, are you findable? About the neighborhoods, about the data, about the market research. This actively sets things up for you to make sure that you are findable. And then if they want to click the link that takes them over to your IDX site, they can click a link that takes them over there.
Okay. So it wouldn't change anything. It's just the front end is changing. The back end's really not.
Correct. I believe this is an and, not an or, right? This isn't this or that. This is something that is specifically set up for AI search to help you get found through it. Um, and I think they're kind of cool too. Like when you talk about like the different community. Um, so like it talks about the community, it talks about the neighborhood, it stays up to date, it works for you 24/7. To help you get found through that.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Guys, anybody else? Questions, comments, excitement? What else do you guys got for me?
Nick, does your site stay in the Halo portal, or do you have to go to like GoDaddy and buy the domain or anything like that?
Yeah, great question. So it will natively set up like it's hosted within the platform, and we will give you a domain to start off, but then you can easily just switch it to whatever domain that you want. So if you have like a custom domain that you want to link it to, you can link it to whatever custom domain that you have.
Okay. And will you always own that site that is built for you?
So it is hosted on the Halo platform.
Right.
The,
Okay.
the URL, like you own the URL, but it's hosted on the Halo platform. Just like if it was like a WordPress site, like WordPress owns the site, right? Yep, similar to that.
Okay.
So I guess another question would be, kind of getting started. So say someone does, hits the QR code, gets all their information in there, starts, like, what's the process? Is there like a concierge? Is there someone that kind of helps them through the process?
Yeah.
Is there kind of course, help kind of helping them along the way? Are there any consistent like kind of classes or
Yeah,
education kind of go
yeah,
through?
great question. Every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I host a live class and we go over updates. I usually have one of the founders or developers on the call too. So we go over updates or different things that it can do. Like this week, we were able to add like a QR code for every listing. So now you can text it and it'll give you a custom QR code for every listing. Now you can actually have it email you information too. We're adding Google Analytics. We're adding a dashboard. So that way it's like it'll be able to track analytics. So every Thursday at 2, we go over that. Man, so like the support side, you guys do get added to our private community on the back end. But man, you get like just texting it back and forth. Um, it's really like an employee like concierge that you can text about information like, hey, I'm having trouble getting this set up. And it responds to you right away. Like getting started, you scan the QR code, you text it Krem, you fill out a form with your information, who you are, your MLS number, like all that information, and you get it back within about like 10 or 15 minutes. So your site is fully developed and it starts blogging for you within about 10 or 15 minutes of setting up.
Would you be able to take one of those sites that you showed us and use that as a reference to build out your own site?
You could, yeah.
Okay.
I would say like if you like the site that you currently have, you can use that as the reference.
Gotcha.
So it'll look like that, it'll brand like it, get your brand and domain.
I'm assuming if you had like a team and you had administrative people, and once you had your prompts and your things in place, it would be pretty easy for them to kind of duplicate like a process, like, hey, create a single website for this. Like you have all those prompts. Here's a new listing. We want a video for this. We want a landing page for this. You kind of have all those prompts in place that you can just give that person so they don't really need to be an expert. They just kind of have the knowledge of the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they would literally just need to say, hey, new listing, and then provide the link with the updated pictures, and it goes and does all of it. So it's really, you just tell it you got a listing, provide the link, and then it builds a landing page, builds a video, and then we're going to add all the graphics and everything to it as well.
How about marketing graphics? Like, so, social content, from that listing, kind of another level.
That's coming very soon. So like it will literally be able to take your pictures and then do like the just listed graphic, just sold, create carousels, create reels based on like the videos that it creates. So that's coming very soon. And it's the same process. You just say got a listing, creates the property website, and then everything else.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Yep.
And Enza had a question there about the AEO site checker.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Whoosy.ai, and basically this whole process is, the solution to ultimately increasing that AEO ranking
Right.
rather
So
than, go ahead.
unfortunately, a lot of places like, man, so this is where, like, another thing, I don't know about you guys, but I've dealt with website developers and like things along those lines. Sometimes it'll take weeks to get back. It'll cost you money every single time you want like a simple update on your page, and then it's not right. Then you have to communicate with them back. If you want to update the back end, it takes work. So with that, you can reach out to your website provider to try to get that switched on. I know from experience with a lot of agents, I don't want to name a lot of companies, but there's a lot of them that just say, no, that's not what we do. And they won't turn on. You can try to reach out to them and let them know, like, hey, I need my backend updated to get robots.txt open. But I know firsthand a lot of individuals who, like a lot of the brokerage websites, that's they just don't open it up. You can reach out to them to try to get that done, but I don't believe that's something you can do yourself. You'd have to reach out to the person who owns the website to go into the back end and open robots.txt.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and just I feel like I will say the coolest part about my Thursday trainings that I'm realizing is I don't know about you guys if you've ever hosted a training and then you leave it, it's like, how many people are actually going to do it? Right? Like, because you go through the process, it might look easy on the call, and then after you stare at a blank screen and be like, where do I start? What do I do? Like, what I love about this is everything that is run through this now. It's like, this is my site, and I showed you, oh, I want the lead capture form. You literally can just text it after it's done and say, hey, can you add a pop-up on my main page that goes to a lead capture form to get them into my email database? So you see something that you like, and then you literally just text your chief of marketing and say, hey, I like that a lot. Can you add this to mine? And that's it. Sure thing. Lead capture form, name and email standard. Or do you want phone number? Let's do phone number. I know somebody else. Let me see if I can look up Rob Moen. So Moen, he was like, well, I need accessibility because like you need to have accessibility. So there's, like I said, there's over 30 digital employees. One of the employees was an app builder. So it literally built him the widget to make this accessible. So he just said, hey, I need to make it accessible. Can you build me a widget on my website to make everything highlight, dyslexic, text to speech? It built that form. And he just went ahead and sent the text. We're going to see. So it's building this out now. It's going to add a pop-up. And it'll let me know when it's live. So like you see something you like on this website or another one, it's not, all right, how do I log in? Where do I go to set this up? How do I make it look right? You only see something you like and you just send a text like, hey, can you add this to my site? Hey, can you add the accessibility widget? Hey, can you do this? You see like, and then this is where you see like a market report or like a big, like the rates just dropped. You can text it a link and then just say what you think about the market report, and it will take the blog, it will take what you think and write you a brand new article. And now we just added a feature where it's like, hey, every Monday, can you email me a summary of all the blogs that you just did and create content for me? They'll say, sure. And every Monday, it'll take a summary of the most frequently asked questions that people have, email you reports, and start getting you information on it. So like I said, it's 30 digital employees that are just a text away. So I just put that link in the chat. And this isn't a sales pitch. It's just what it is. This Thursday, you get 2 sites for the price of one now. So you get 2 sites for $99 a month. So you get like a authority site and a community site by getting started by Thursday. So I just put that link in the chat for you guys again.
Amazing stuff. Anybody else have some questions? I think they're all stunned.
Scary stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and here we go, guys. So check this out. Just so you guys see this. So you guys saw, I mean, I just texted it live. Copy this, paste it over here. Pop up. There we go. So I got a pop up on my website. All I did was text it. All right. Well, I will say this, if we're wrapping up the call here, I truly believe the agents who are found through this technology are the ones who are really going to be dominating. This is the modern referral. People are having like asking it questions, like they're asking personal questions. I mean, I'm asking it questions about my taxes. I'm hooking it up and going through all the information. Like, this is where people are going to get their information. This is now where people are going, and they literally have an AI agent that is shopping for them. So Google AI agent just rolled out. YouTube's AI is telling people what they are likely to watch. So it's telling you what you're going to watch. It's telling you what you're going to like. It's telling you what you're going to shop. And 82% of Americans last year used AI for housing information. Will you be the answer when they are asking questions about the neighborhood, about rates, about inventory, about the community, about different things that are happening? If you don't have something that is working for you 24/7, it's going to be very hard to keep up with somebody who is. So that's why we created this for you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. It was very interesting.
I think this is a great opportunity. I mean, in any industry and in life, I mean, I think we're in one of those moments that if you don't embrace AI, you're going to be left behind. I think that's kind of what Nick just said. But this is a great opportunity to have the support, to have the agents that can answer your questions and really kind of learn by doing, and really kind of take yourself to another level within AI. And I think, a lot of us want to do that. We just don't know where to do it. And we're stuck just asking ChatGPT silly searches and simple information. But I think this would be a good opportunity for anyone to kind of take it to that next level and really see how that, that the agents and agentic can work for you.
Craig, I'm with you. And it was 6 months ago. I had a red mark on my forehead because AI, like agentic rolled out, everything just changed. And I was like, how the heck am I going to keep up? That is why I teamed up. Like, the people who built this, I didn't build this. I orchestrated it. They are former Microsoft AI engineers. It's an entire development team that puts this together. Every time there are model updates, they go into their back end, and it's like all of your employees just get smarter. You're sleeping and there's 15 model updates in 8 weeks. All of a sudden, all of your employees get smarter. They get more intuitive. They get better. We're adding different employees to it. So it's literally having like an entire staff on your back end that gets smarter while you sleep, that works 24/7. And I sleep a heck of a lot better at night knowing that there's an entire team that is focused on making sure that my employees are staying up to date. So I'm with you, Craig. It's changing rapidly. And it's like, which platform do I use? Well, this platform uses 70 different large language models to make sure all of this gets built for me.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
I'm a little computer illiterate when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, if we got your system for $99, it walks you through the process.
Yep. And then you get to text. And you know what? I don't do this often, but it's a nice enough size call. That's my personal number. If you, for some reason, you can text the number, like once you start texting it, you can literally start asking it, like, where do I go? What do I do? It will respond and walk you through. But if you want, like, dude, just shoot me a text.
Okay.
I'd be happy to like hop on a Zoom, walk you guys through, make sure you guys get access to everything. That is my personal number. Don't give it out too much, but for you guys, that's there for you.
Appreciate the information today. It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, we built it for, I will say there's some members in my group that are 70 plus, nothing against age, but they've went through this and texted it and they're like, holy crap, I'm now a website developer, because they're just texting it back and forth. So like, that's where we had the end in mind is I don't want you to have another platform login to go here, click on that. It's like, no, just literally text it and it will build it for you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Great info.
Yeah, appreciate it, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
And thank you everybody for coming on. And we'll have another one in 2 weeks. And we appreciate Nick and everything he's offered today. That was a great one to kick things off.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great week.
All right,
Take care,
family.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.